Sandblasting is one of those jobs that really puts your gear through the ringer. If you have ever spent half your afternoon fixing a pinhole leak in a hose instead of actually stripping paint, you know exactly how frustrating that is. This 25-foot length from SIMOND store is clearly built with that specific headache in mind. Right out of the box, you can tell it is not some flimsy garden variety tubing. It has a solid, heavy-duty rubber construction that feels like it could take a serious beating. The wall thickness is 1/4 inch, which gives it a nice, reassuring heft when you are dragging it across a concrete floor or around a project. What stands out is how it handles the constant friction of abrasive media. Most cheaper hoses start to show wear almost immediately, but this one seems to shrug off the internal scouring that usually kills lesser equipment. It is rated for 150 psi, which is plenty for most standard shop setups, and it maintains its shape well without feeling overly stiff or difficult to maneuver. That is a big deal when you are trying to get into tight corners or working on a vehicle frame where you need a bit of flexibility. Now here is the thing about using this outdoors. It is surprisingly resilient against the elements. Whether it is sitting in the sun or dealing with a bit of moisture, the material does not seem to get brittle or crack like some of the cheaper plastic blend hoses do. It stays pliable enough to coil up at the end of the day, which is a small detail, but one that saves a lot of storage space. Honestly, it is not perfect. Because it is built for durability, it is a bit on the heavier side. If you are used to lightweight, thin-walled hoses, you might notice the extra weight after a few hours of continuous work. It is a trade-off, though. You are sacrificing that featherlight feel for something that is actually going to last through a dozen projects, rather than just one. It would have been nice if it came with pre-installed fittings, as you will need to source your own couplings to get it hooked up to your blast pot, but that is pretty standard for this type of industrial-grade hose. If you are tired of constantly patching leaks or dealing with hoses that kink every time you turn a corner, this is a massive step up. It is a straightforward, no-nonsense piece of kit that does exactly what it claims to do. It is not flashy, but for anyone who actually spends time in the shop, that reliability is worth way more than any fancy branding. It is a solid, dependable workhorse that should keep your downtime to a minimum and your productivity right where it needs to be.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.